Hello children, welcome to the second part of the chapter, What if it finishes? Here we will discuss and write the question and answer, and also we'll continue the story. Let's get started with the question and answers. Now let's write some question and answers. So first question is, what all can vehicles run on? Let me repeat the question. Children think and then write. What all can vehicles run on? So here is the answer. Vehicles can run on petrol, diesel, CNG, LPG, battery and solar energy. So what is the answer? Vehicles can run on petrol, diesel, CNG, LPG, battery and solar energy. Okay, let's see what's the next question. So what kinds of problems will we face if the number of vehicles keep on increasing? For example, more traffic on the road. Talk to your elders and write about it. So what is the question? What kinds of problems will we face if the number of vehicles keep on increasing? For example, more traffic on the road. You can talk to your elders and write about it. Don't worry children, I will definitely let you know the answer. But before that, think and write. Alright children, let's match the answer. So here is my answer. If the number of vehicles keep on increasing on the road, then besides heavy traffic, problems like air pollution, noise pollution, accident and so on can rise. Yes. So what is the answer? So not only heavy traffic means all the vehicles will be on the road and there will be air pollution. How air pollution will happen? Because of the smoke coming out from the vehicle. There will be noise pollution. How noise pollution? Honking of the horn, which goes honk honk all the time. It also does noise pollution. And what happens? Like others says, we can't speed up. Because of the speed up, accident happens. What happens? Accident happens. Alright, so these are the two questions. Match your answers and see whether you have done correct or you have wrote it differently. Let's start the conversation or let's go to this story. Now, Manju said, why doesn't everyone use a bus? What do you think? Why don't people travel by buses? We should everyone use a bus. It also saves fuel. It will save the petrol. Yes. Now, let's see what is the answer to it. I think poor people prefer bicycle than to spend daily on buses, while the rich ones use cars for convenience and also maintain their status. Nowadays, in our lifestyle, it is very important to maintain a status. Like if you have a car, then so many people will say, oh, they have a car, they must be rich. But what about the poor ones? They can't afford to spend on the cars, or some people are so much poor that they couldn't think of going in the bus. So what they do? They ride bicycles. Now children, suggest some ways to deal with the problems arising out of the growing number of vehicles. So can you suggest some ways to deal with the problems that arise in growing number of vehicles? Because nowadays people are very crazy about cars. They take cars. They are not sometimes thinking of the petrol, of the fuel that is being used like this. So what are the ways you can think about it? Think and write it down. Don't worry, I will let you know the answers. Now here is the answer. Now let's see what it is about. to control the growing number of vehicles, people should prefer public transport system like buses, trains, metro train, etc. Isn't it, children? We hear in the news that government is making metro train to make the public transport easier because buses get crowded, trains get crowded, and we can use the metro train to travel. This problem can also be effectively dealt with by making carpool. What is carpool? That is sharing one's car with their colleagues or other people, etc. If 4 people are going to one place, they can use one car, not 4 cars. Then it will be easy and it will save a lot of petrol. Now the next question. What are the benefits if we switch off the engine of the vehicles at the red light on the road? Children, we have discussed it earlier. What are the benefits if we switch off the engine of the vehicles at the red light on the road? So, here is the answer. If we switch off the engine of the vehicles at the red light on the road, we might save some petrol, because nowadays, as we have discussed, the heavy traffic is increasing. Yes, we are stopping in the red light in the traffic zone for so long time that we need to switch off the engine. So turn your key. Be idle free for some time. Now let's see this picture. Can you see this picture? Now you need to find out and write. So what you need to find out? See the box. How much oil? And below it, what it is written? How much petrol, diesel can be filled at a time. So how much petrol and diesel can be filled at a time? In which? In scooter, car and tractor. Can you see there are boxes which is written scooter, car and tractor. So the second one is how far it can go 1 liter of petrol or diesel. So we also need to find out how far can it go on 1 liter of petrol or diesel. Let's find out the answer for it. So the rates of petrol are different in each city. The rates of petrol and diesel in Delhi are given here. So look at the table and answer the question. So you have seen the table. Now see the answer. Now here is the oil table. We will answer this. Okay. What are the rates of the petrol and diesels in Delhi? So here we see rate of 1 liter in 2002 October, the petrol rate was 29.91 rupees, and in 2007 it was 43.52, and in 2014 it was 67.86. Now let's see the price of diesel. Now what is the price of diesel? In 2002 it was 18 rupees 91 paisa. In 2007 it was 30 rupees 48 paisa. Isn't it? See, there is an increase in the price. And in 2014 there was 58 rupees and 97 paisa. Can't you see the difference? So let's see this. In 2014 as compared to 2007, the rate of petrol went up by rupees. The rate of diesel increased by rupees. Now, what was the difference in the rates of petrol and diesels from 2002 to 2007 and 2007 to 2014? You need to check. Check this table out, children. You will check this table out and write it down in the notebook. Now let's find out the question and answers. Let's discuss this question and answers. So the first question is, what is the price of petrol and diesel in your area? Right now, what is the petrol price in your area? So you need to find out. Ask your father, ask your neighbors, ask your friends too. Now the question number 2. Why are the prices of petrol and diesel going up? It's a very important question, children. Why is the prices of petrol and diesel going up? So, as we know in the story, as we have discussed it earlier, the prices of petrol and diesel going up because natural resources are going to finish quickly or it won't last forever. What we have learned from the story. So, when it is becoming very limited, the price goes up. In 1 month, how much petrol and diesel is used in your home and what is it used for? Children need to find out with your parents or your uncle and aunt. Just go and ask this question, like how much petrol and diesel is used in your home and what is it used for? For doing shopping, for going to the office or going for your schools or for the tuitions or so on. Now see this poster. Now one poster is given here. Now what it is used, you can see the shirts are hanging, there is a lantern and the car is there, the helicopter is there. So it is written, where am I used? For dry cleaning, for lighting, as petrol, in generator too. Yes, so in the end, what it is written? Save fuel, make it a habit. Why it is written? Why we need to save fuel? Because it will not last forever. So we need to make it a habit. So we have seen the posters. Let's answer some question over here. Where all oil is used? Where is diesel used? Find out. Yes, see the picture and find out the answer. So, here it is. Petrol, diesel, kerosene, LPG, etc. are all different forms of petroleum. These have different uses in our lives. So, where oil is being used, you can answer this question right now. Oil is used in the car, in the motorcycles, in the generator at our home. When the electricity goes off, it gives us electricity. Right? Yes. Where is diesel used? Diesel is used sometimes in the cars. There are such poor people who use kerosene in the lantern because they can't afford lights. Sometimes they can't afford lights, and even we light the lanterns because when the electricity goes off, we light lanterns. For that we need kerosene. Where LPG has been used? LPG has been used in the car. LPG is used in our daily life to cook food. Isn't your mom cook food by switching on the gas? Yes, that is also a form of petroleum. See, these are the natural resources. Yes. Now let's read. I am black, I am thick, I flow. Who am I? Do you know I will last longer if you use me with care? I got made over centuries. I won't always be there. I light your lamps. I cook your food. I run your machines. Fly planes in the sky. Who is more useful to people than I? If not used with care, I won't always be there. Will they fight over me? What is life without me? I am black, I am thick, I flow. Who am I? Do you know? Do you know I will last longer if you use me with care? I got made over centuries. I won't always be there. I light your lamps. I cook your food. I run your machines. Fly planes in the sky. Who is more useful to people than I? If not used with care, I won't always be there. Will they fight over me? What is life without me? I am black, I am thick, I flow. Who am I? And do you know who it is? Of course, it is the petroleum. So, Divya is talking about petroleum. Now, let's discuss the questions quickly. Yes? So, the next question is, what would happen if you don't get petrol or diesel for a week in your village or town? What will happen? So, let's discuss this answer here. So, the answer is, if you don't get petrol or diesel for a week in a village or town, then the transportation will get stopped, making it difficult to commute to different places. Small factories or industries running in the town will stop operating. Isn't it, children? If we won't get any petrol or diesel, so our lives will be stopped. So, see how petrol and diesel are important in our life. Okay, let's see the next question. Suggest some ways to save oil. So, let's see what are the ways to save oil. So, here are the points. Let's discuss it. So, people should use public transport or carpooling. What should they do? They need to use auto rickshaws, buses, also carpooling. What is carpooling? 4 people can use one car. Sharing the car is known as carpooling. So, vehicles should be switched off while waiting at the traffic lights. So, what should we do? We should switch off while waiting at the traffic lights. People should go to the nearby distances by walk or using cycle. What should they do? People should go to the nearby distances by walk or using the cycle. So, the next one is alternative sources of energy like solar cookers, solar lights should be used to minimize the consumption of oil. Yes, solar energy, the energy which is coming from the sun, it is also called solar energy. We can use solar cooker, solar lights. Now, there is a small story. Let's hear it out. Wood for chula. Durga lives in a village in Haryana. Every day, she spends many hours collecting wood for the chula. Her daughter also has to help her in this. For the past 3 months, she has a cough. There is a lot of smoke when damp wood is burnt. But Durga does not have any other option. When there is not enough money to buy food, where will there be money to buy wood? Now, children, can you answer this? Have you ever collected dry wood or cow dung cakes? How are they made? As we learned from the story, they were very poor people. So, what Durga was doing? Durga was collecting the wood and making her family to eat food. But since 3 months, she has cough. So, she can't do anything, right? Yes. Now, tell me, have you ever collected dry wood or made cow dung cakes? So, yes, once I collected dry wood and also made cow dung cakes during my visit to our ancestors' village. Not in town, children, but in village. Some people are using cow dungs too to avoid the LPG or because they have practiced that way. To make cow dung cakes, hay is mixed with cow dung, which is then molded into a shape with its bottom being flat and upper part being round. These are then dried up in the sun to make them hard. See, this is the way the cow dung cakes has been made. So children, do you know anyone who collects dry wood or leaves to be used for lighting a chula? Do you know? Yes, I have seen villagers collecting dry wood and leaves for lighting a chula. So children, who cooks food in your family? And what about other families in your areas? So here is the answer children. My mother cooks food in our family. Mostly ladies cook food in my area. Also in some homes, servants cook food. If they cook food using wood or cow dung cakes, what difficulties do they face due to smoke? So the answer is the smoke coming out of chula due to the burning of wood or cow dung cakes causes serious health issues like coughing, nausea, headache, irritation in eyes and lung disease. So children, what is nausea? Nausea is act of vomiting. If someone feels like vomiting and can't do, that is called nausea. And headache. Irritation in eyes. Something goes into the eyes and it gets irritated. And lung disease. So the smoke, as we have discussed it earlier, the smoke goes into the lungs. So, can Durga use anything else instead of wood? Why not? So the answer is no. Durga cannot use anything else instead of wood because she is too poor to buy other convenient fuels to cook food. So Durga has to collect the wood. So today about 2/3 people in our country use upla, wood, dry twigs, etc. These are used not only for cooking food but also keeping warm for heating water and for lighting. Many other things are used for all activities at home. So as we discussed, kerosene, LPG, coal, electricity, etc. Kancha had seen a bar chart in a book. The chart shows the number of houses out of 100 that use each type of fuel. It also shows the use of which fuel has increased and which fuel has decreased over the past 20 years. See children, here is the graph. You can see this graph. So, there is a graph which says how much coal, LPG and kerosene electricity has been used. Let's see. Now, let's discuss this question quickly. Yes, in year 1976, out of 100, how many houses used upla and wood? See this graph? Yes, this graph says out of 100, how many houses used upla and wood? So the answer is in year 1976, out of 100, 84 houses used upla and wood. Now, which was the fuel used the least in 1976? Now, let's go to the graph and see. Let's see. We can see in the year 1976, electricity is the fuel which was used the least in 1976. In 1976, LPG kerosene were used in dash houses. And in 1996, this increased to dash. This means that in 20 years, their use increased by dash percentage. So, these answers are very easy. So, in 1976, how many houses used LPG and kerosene? 10 houses used LPG and kerosene. And in 1996, it increased to 18. This means 80% increased in 20 years. Okay. So, out of 100, how many houses were using electricity in 1996? So, children, when you see the graph, so here is the answer. Out of 100 houses, 10 houses were using electricity in 1996. Which fuel was used the least in 1996? What percentage of houses used it in the year 1976? Let's see the graph again. So, in this graph, what we can see? We can see that the coal was used the least in 1996 and 5% of houses used it in the year 1976. Now children, yes, write it down in the notebook quickly. Now, when they were young, what was then used to cook food at home? Question your elders. In the past 10 years, use of which cooking fuel has increased in your area? Use of which fuel has decreased? Now guess the use of which fuel would increase and which would decrease in the next 10 years. Now, children, what we have learned. Imagine that a company has given you a chance to design a new vehicle like a minibus. What kind of vehicle would you design? Write about it, draw a picture and color it. Alright children, as you will imagine the bus and you will write it down the answer. Look out for news reports on oil, cut this and make a collage. Put up a chat in your classroom or at your home. Also write your own views on these news reports and make a poster with a message on saving fuel. Write a slogan too. Where would you like to put up this poster? Put it there. So children, in this chapter we have learned that not to waste the natural resources because they are taking centuries to form. So save fuel and save the earth. Thank you.